2024 has truly been the year of resurrecting IPs that were long thought dead whether we wanted them back or not. Sequels and remakes have rained down on us, from forgettable popcorn flicks like Twisters, noble flops like Alien, Romulus, to straight-up trash like The Crow. It's been a wild roller coaster of hits and misses. So where does Beetlejuice fall on the spectrum? Does it live up to the 1988 classic, or is it just another lazy cash grab? Well, surprisingly, it's a little bit of both. As a sequel, Beetlejuice does a decent job. It brings Tim Burton's signature gothic fairytale style, blends it with ridiculous visual gags, and somehow, in a world of cookie-cutter films, manages to be weirdly unique. Michael Keaton, the man hasn't missed a beat in 35 years. He jumps back into the role of Beetlejuice like he never left. Jenna Ortega plays the deadpan to his chaos perfectly, creating sparks of magic on screen. There are solid moments, a good number of callbacks to the original though. Like all callbacks, some work better than others. But oh boy, the script, it's cluttered like a hoarder's basement, full of too many characters and subplots, tripping over itself. There's a whole character who's never even in the movie, but still somehow gets way too much attention. And as for performances, well, let's just say some actors have aged more gracefully than others. But enough of my babbling, let's dive into the mess, shall we? Go ahead, Barbara, say it, Beetlejuice. So we pick up in the present day. Lydia is now a successful talk show host specializing in the paranormal. Sounds good, right? Well, she's also addicted to prescription meds, estranged from her daughter Astrid, controlled by her manipulative boyfriend, and haunted by Beetlejuice. As if that's not enough, things hit rock bottom when Lydia's father Charles dies in a plane crash, forcing the family to gather at their old home and Winter River for the funeral. That's where Astrid meets Rory, a sweet local teen. She falls for him only to find out he's a ghost, and the only way for them to be together is for her to cross over into the afterlife to bring him back. Spoiler alert, it's a trap, and Rory wants to swap places with her. Enter Beetlejuice. Lydia summons him, but he'll only help if she agrees to marry him. Oh, and he's being chased by his vengeful ex-wife who wants to, I don't know, suck his soul or something. Meanwhile, Delia, because, of course, Delia is off accidentally killing herself with venomous snakes during some ridiculous ritual at her husband's grave. There's a dead movie star playing a paranormal detective, a manipulative boyfriend pulling the strings, and afterlife employees running wild. Confused yet? There's a lot happening in this movie, and not all of it's necessary. Monica Bellucci's Dolores is supposed to be the big bad, but she barely gets 30 seconds of screen time at a time before the story jumps elsewhere. I literally forgot she was even in the movie. Willem Dafoe hams it up in a role that doesn't seem to have a real purpose. He's got one joke, and he milks it dry. And don't get me started on Lydia's ex-husband. He's mentioned so briefly that when his big moment comes, it falls flat because I legit didn't even remember who he was. Then there's Charles's death, which eats up way too much time for a payoff that's, let's just say, less than satisfying, especially considering the actor's real-world reputation. The original movie, tight, efficient, just over 90 minutes. Every scene mattered, every character had a purpose. Beetlejuice 2, on the other hand, it's like someone took all their ideas, dumped them in a blender and hit puree. There's too much going on, and it takes forever to really get started. Beetlejuice himself doesn't even make a grand appearance until 40 minutes in, and that's when things finally kick into gear. Michael Keaton may be in his 70s, but you'd never guess it. The man still got the same manic energy he had 35 years ago, every moment he's on screen is pure joy. He's matched well by Jenna Ortega, who delivers her signature deadpan with just the right sprinkle of humanity. She's lonely, trying to reconnect with her family, but not just a carbon copy of Lydia from the first film. Speaking of Lydia Winona Ryder, we love you, but someone should have made you rewatch the original. She's got the same haircut, sure, but she's acting more like Joyce from Stranger Things than Lydia. It's like the movie hints that she's going through a midlife crisis, but never really dives deep enough for us to care. And Catherine O'Hara, oh man. Her return as Delia was a choice. Her character is beyond grating. She makes terrible decisions left and right, and her over-the-top performance makes Nicolas Cage look like the king of subtlety. Honestly, they could have cut her whole subplot and we have been better off for it. Ultimately, despite some decent visuals, solid direction, and a cast that's doing its best with the chaotic script they were handed, Beetlejuice feels like too many half-baked movies crammed into one. A jumble of disjointed ideas and subplots that don't quite come together into anything cohesive. A sequel that's entertaining enough but never quite recaptures the magic of its predecessor. That's all I've got for today. Shoo, go away now.